Welcome to Smex Ed. Class is in session.
I'm your host, Amanda King, and I'm here to teach anybody who wants to fucking listen how to have the audacity to say fuck it to societal standards and live their most authentic life. This podcast is dedicated to bringing the sexual conversations we have behind doors onto the main fucking stage. Because sex, masturbation, squirting, guess what? It is all normal. And by bringing these conversations to the forefront, we help people feel less alone in this world. We help them feel safe. We help them gain their power back. We help them step into their confidence and express themselves sexually in this world unapologetically. Because it takes fucking audacity to be your truest self. And we have a boatloads of audacity all up in this bitch. So let me ask you this. Are you ready for some epic shit?
Hello, everybody. So let's discuss our topic of the day, which is going to be foreplay. Yes, we are going to discuss all things foreplay. So what constitutes as foreplay, form of foreplay, foreplay before foreplay, what is foreplay versus outer course, and all of the things in between. So let's buckle up, and remember, if you have any questions, feel free to reply to these stories. Feel free to DM me, and I will do some stories tomorrow answering follow-up questions. So when we are discussing foreplay, we typically think foreplay is the thing that happens right before penetrative sex, right? The touching, the kissing, the caressing, the nibbling, the biting, the playing, right? But that's not necessarily true. When I talk about foreplay, I always say foreplay starts at the beginning of the day. And what I mean by that is if you were planning on having sex with your partner or you want to have sex with your partner, foreplay starts the minute you wake up that day. Foreplay can look like anything in the entire world that you think would put your partner in a better mood, would turn your partner on, would help your partner relax in order to eventually have penetrative sex. Making breakfast for your partner in bed, foreplay. Getting your partner's favorite candy, food, flowers, something that you know is going to make them smile and feel better that day, foreplay. Letting your partner know how good they look, how much you miss them, how much they're wanted, how much you love them, all considered foreplay. And then we go into other styles of foreplay, such as spicy texting and or spicy videos and or spicy photos. All of these are ways to preemptively get your partner going before the session even starts. Because if you come into a session cold, as I will say it, or not really aroused or not in the mood, no matter how much physical foreplay you do, sometimes mentally you just can't get there. So if you start foreplay at the beginning of the day, you help prepare your partner mentally for sex at the end of the day. It's called mental foreplay, and it is one of the most underutilized forms of foreplay because we always associate foreplay with physical touching. No, you want to get your partner mentally revved up and ready to go, because if you get them mentally there, the body will follow, meaning that your body will become naturally lubricated a little bit quicker once physical elements are brought into the session, because mentally you're already like rip roaring ready to go. So try practicing some mental foreplay with your partners before you get into physical foreplay. Holy shit, that was so hard together. I was struggling there, but we got it. Also, types of mental foreplay are trying to anticipate your partner's needs/distractions before the actual event happens. So for example, a lot of people struggle with disruptive thoughts. Disruptive thoughts are any little trigger that can pull someone out of the moment during a sex session. So they can be like really into it, and then all of a sudden there's like clothes on the corner of the bedroom and they see the clothes and then boom, they're completely pulled out of the session. Or they have a long to-do list. So they're having sex and they're sitting there and they're like, I gotta go to the deli later. I've got to go to the grocery store. Or it can be a smell, a sound. So if you know your partner suffers from disruptive thoughts, try and make the atmosphere a bit more relaxing for them by anticipating these. So cleaning the room, lighting some candles, having a glass of wine, helping them out with their to-do list that day, or just taking some things off their plate so they can be present in the moment. Mental foreplay. Now, we're all pretty familiar with what physical foreplay is. However, once again, a lot of people tend to rush physical foreplay in order to get to penetration. And if you have a partner who cannot get off via penetration, because remember, only about 18% of women can get off via penetration alone, you're like, foreplay is gotta be your thing in order to make sure that they get off before penetrative sex. Now, what is outer course versus foreplay? They're the exact same thing, except for outer course doesn't lead to penetration. It doesn't lead to sex, as in foreplay typically leads to penetrative sex. And also remember, when it comes to the female body, it takes 20 to 40 minutes for the clitoris to swell and become fully aroused. Let that sit for a second. 20 to 40 minutes. So if you are skipping foreplay and just jumping right into penetrative sex, you're doing your partner a disjustice because you're not allowing them to have the time that they need to be fully warmed up and fully aroused. Now, if your partner is fully warmed up and fully aroused, their clit swells and then the vaginal canal actually lengthens. It goes from 1 to about 3 to 4 inches, from anywhere to like as long as 8 to 10 inches, which also provides your partner with more areas, erogenous zones, to stimulate within the vaginal canal once it's lengthened. So if you get your partner fully aroused before penetrative sex, you're going to have penetrative sex. So really, you're going to have better penetrative sex. So when it comes to physical foreplay, make sure you take your time with it. Build anticipation with your partner. Tease your partner rather than just jumping right into penetrative sex. Also with foreplay, toys are huge. And tomorrow I will come up here and showcase some of my favorite kind of foreplay toys that you all can start adding to spice up your foreplay a little bit more, such as like nipple clamps, panty vibes. I have a few of those. Clitoral vibrators if your partner can't get off via penetration alone.
Thank you so much for listening to Smex Ed with Amanda. And some parting words for you today. Remember this: no matter how hard society pushes you down, no matter how many times you fall, as long as you get the fuck back up, they can never stop you. You are unfuckable with. You will win. Don't allow this world to dictate how you show up in it. Don't allow society to make you bend the knee. Instead, make them bend theirs. And don't forget, if you like what you heard, go on to iTunes and Spotify and leave your girl a review. Until next time, my beautiful people.